And good evening, everybody. Welcome to episode 8 of the mmjhl podcast here on G-Show Productions, brought to you by Midcanton Fasteners and Tools, your one-stop shop for all your industrial needs. Be sure to visit their store locations in Brandon and Winnipeg today, as well as visiting their website at midcantonfasteners.shop. Also brought to you by Terrico, serving Manitoba producers for over 80 years in the agricultural industry, and to Goaltenders, your goalie's personal video review service. Check out their website today at gordytumblesongoalies.ca. We just got done broadcasting mmjhl game day tonight from St. Vital Centennial Arena between the St. Vital Junior Victorias and the Transcona Railer Express. The Vics victorious in tonight's matchup by a score of 7-3, and getting his first win as a St. Vital Junior Victoria is a new addition to the team in Matt Grisiak. Matt, wearing number 29, stopped all shots but 3 in tonight's matchup. He's joining me now here on the mmjhl podcast. Originally, you played for the Pembina Valley Twisters, Matt, and now you're here in St. Vital. Talk to us, tell the viewers how that came to be.
Yeah, I mean, this is a great opportunity with the Vics here. We have a special group of guys, and we could go far in playoffs. So, yeah, I just thanks the Vics for making this trade, and yeah.
You pick up your first career win as a St. Vital Junior Victoria tonight against a Transcona Railer Express team that was 3-0 against them in the season series. Just though for you though, to get that first win with the new club, how special is that?
Oh yeah, it's awesome. Shutting these guys down. It's like I said, we have a special group of guys who can go far. We have a really good team, and it showed.
You're coming from a team that's skyrocketed up in the standings in the Pembina Valley Twisters. You spent your rookie season there last year, spent most of this season with them before the trade to St. Vital. Can you talk to me about what that experience was like, how it helped you get used to the play here in the mmjhl?
Yeah, I mean, last season I played a full season with PV. It was a great season. The start of this year, I wasn't getting much time, so good group of guys, though. Good group of guys. I can't, just like here. Yeah, I'm excited to be on this team and see how far we can go.
Yeah, and this team had a rough December. Started off with some losses this month, but seems like this team is starting to pick up their play. Back-to-back wins at home from last Thursday to this Thursday. You had spoken about what a great group this is. Talk about what it's like actually experiencing it and being around the vibe that's now in this victorious locker room.
Yeah, like I said, it's great. The league it's tight, so it's hard to really judge team by team. We're climbing the standings though, right? So it's all that matters, and yeah.
Right now at 33 points on the season. Had a chance to watch you play for pretty much the first time in my experience watching this league tonight. Looked like you were comfortable, confident out there in the saves you were making. Can you give the viewers, the fans at home, kind of a taste of what they can expect to watch from a goaltender like you when they come out to see you play?
Yeah, I'm a competitive guy, and I want to win, so I try and make as much saves as I can. I made some great saves here tonight. That's all I could do, play my best and show up to the rink ready every time.
You know, not sure if you'll be getting a start this Sunday coming up. That might be going to Mason Quebec, but a tough test again against a St. Boniface Riels team that's been near the top of the standings all season long. The night off tomorrow, an extra day's rest, of course, as always, for this group on these Thursday night games. But how is this group approaching a big rivalry game coming up this Sunday against a good Riels team?
Yeah, I see they made some trades. We're on a roll though, so we can easily put them down Sunday, and that's gotta come in confident like we did today, and we'll get it.
Well, I think at this point in the season, Matt, it's pretty true that if you're not ready to come to play, any team can beat you. And this St. Vital team has experienced that this year, and they've also experienced the positive side of that, which was in tonight's matchup. Hoping this team comes ready to play this Sunday. Matt Grisiak, number 29, newest addition of the Junior Victoria's goaltender here, joining us on MMJHL podcast number 8. Matt, thanks for taking the time.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Of course. We're going to send it to a promo, and I'll be back solo to finish this episode off. Think one moment here, folks. There we go. I think we got it back now. Anyways, I'm not too sure what my sound is sounding like right now, but I do know one thing. Yeah, the St. Vital Junior Victorias winning by a score of 7-3 tonight. Dayton Kiesman with 3 goals, a hat trick. Dario Macchia picking up 2 goals on the night as well. Tyler Rubini and Lucas Yillison both getting on the board. Matt Grisiak coming away with his first win in a Victoria's jersey in the victory. The shots ended up being 34-30 for the Vics. And penalties have seemed to be a theme in these last 2 matchups between these 2 teams, as there were 18 penalties taken in total tonight. Only 2 power play goals, though. 1 from the Vics, 1 from the Railer Express. For this Vics team, they went 1 for 11 on the man advantage. For Transcona, going 1 for 7 when they had the man advantage. And Derek Gagnon, the head coach for the Railer Express, also got kicked out of this game, a bench minor penalty. There were many ejections, still not sure for quite what on most of them, like when Rubini got sent off. I didn't see him do anything at all. And yeah, it's just a bizarre, crazy, just a wild end to that hockey game where the Vics won it by a score of 7-3 like I mentioned. And yeah, as we take a look at the standings at this point, the Vics now up to 33 points. They're 2 points behind St. Boniface now with the same amount of games played. St. Boniface will be in action tomorrow, of course, against St. Vital coming up this Sunday. But for Transcona, they had a chance to jump over both the Victorias and the Raiders Junior Hockey Club in the standings with the win, at least to tie the Raiders Junior Hockey Club with points if this game got to extra time, but that wasn't the case. The St. James Junior Canucks still on top in the MMJHL standings, 152 goals for, 71 goals against for an 81 goal differential. Plus 81 goal differential is crazy. The Pembina Valley Twisters have won 10 straight games. Headed into this weekend, have jumped up to second place with 2 games in hand on Charleswood, up a point on them. The Fort Garry Twins have fallen out of a playoff spot, out of that 8th spot to 9th, where Stonewall has taken over now. As they won over this weekend to close things out, Fort Garry ended up losing back-to-back over the weekend, and for River East, still in the doghouse in terms of the standings. As for how these games went, we saw it last Thursday. The Vics started off their weekend with a 7-4 win. They ended off their weekend with a 5-4 loss in OT to the Raiders Junior Hockey Club, a team that has eluded them this season, haven't been able to take them down, but the streak, as you can see, they're continuing for the Pembina Valley Twisters. 4-2 win over the Raiders Junior Hockey Club on the Friday last week, and last Sunday winning in a close one, 5-4 over the Transcona Railer Express, as we saw here tonight from St. Vital Centennial Arena. So yeah, interesting how these standings are shaping out in the MMJHL at this point. This Pembina Valley Twisters team has been playing probably the best hockey out of any team in the league in these past 2 months as a whole. They've been even hotter than the St. James Junior Canucks, which is saying something with how special their roster, their talent is. And speaking of the St. James Junior Canucks, well, for their upcoming schedule, let's see if we find it. They will be in action coming up tomorrow night against the Stonewall Jets at 7:30 p.m. Another game that's going to be huge tomorrow, I feel like, will be the Charleswood Hawks and the Raiders Junior Hockey Club. Raiders Junior Hockey Club looking to move up in the standings. Charleswood looking to, of course, put some pressure on Pembina Valley now that they are out in front by 2 points with 2 games in hand. So very interesting for sure. The win streak on the line for Pembina Valley going up against the Riels, who entered last weekend as the second place team in the league. Also going to be interesting to see how Aaron Nielsen and Aiden Allworth continue to adjust to this team this weekend. There's 5 games, a full slate of games to be played this Sunday coming up. The St. Vital St. Boniface rivalry at 3 p.m. at Southdale should be a great one. The best team in the league versus the worst team in the league in the River East Royal Knights hosting the St. James Junior Canucks. And of course, all Manitoban, rural Manitoban battle between the Pembina Valley Twisters and the Stonewall Jets at 8 p.m. that night. Should be fantastic to see what happens this weekend. Coming up in the MMJHL, we are going to take it to a transition here quickly, and I'll be back to show you guys how the stats leaders have been faring here recently in the Manitoba Major Junior Hockey League on the official podcast, the MMJHL, for episode number 8, brought to you by Terrico, Mechanical Fasteners and Tools, and Goaltenders. Stick around, folks. Well, I hope you are all having a good one on this late Thursday evening for the MMJHL podcast, episode 8, brought to you by Mechanical Fasteners and Tools, Terrico, and Goaltenders. The St. Vital Junior Victorias winning tonight by a score of 7-3 against the Transcona Railer Express to start their weekend off on a hot note, on a high note. And yeah, if we take a look at the standings at this point, St. Vital, these are not updated. St. Vital is now at 33 points, 30 games played, 2 points back in the St. Boniface Riels, of course, taking them on this weekend. Coming up on Sunday, as that game will be played at Southdale. And as we take a look at the standings one more time, the St. James Junior Canucks with a huge lead for first place still, up by 13 on the next best team, which is the Pembina Valley Twisters. But Pembina Valley has been hot. Hottest team in the league, even hotter than St. James, with 10 wins in a row. Charleswood 1 point behind the Twisters with 2 games more played than them. And St. Boniface, the Riels, on a 2-game losing streak, blowing their spot in the standings last week, where they were second place heading in, and we've seen some fantastic talent this year in the MMJHL. A lot of great goaltenders at that, and as our sign on the bottom of our screen, Goaltenders, the Text Your Goalie's personal video review service, scrolls along, we'd love to show you guys those goaltending leaders now. And that would be Noah Gilbert leading the league in wins with 16. 2 more than Logan Enns, former teammate of tonight's guest, and Matt Grisiak. Both these goaltenders with fantastic save percentages. .927 for Gilbert, which is just ridiculous. A .912 save percentage for Logan Enns. Alex Pauls, 11 wins in third with an .890 save percentage. Zach Meadows has been really good this season. And Evan Benera, goaltender for the Raiders Junior Hockey Club. As bad as that team has been defensively at points this season, he's been a bright spot. 10-5-1, a .900 save percentage, no shutouts. The leader on this board right now, Noah Gilbert, with 2 in 19 games played. Impressive season that he's been having. Can't say it enough. But what about the rest of the players in the mmjhl, the ones that aren't goaltenders? Well, when we take a look at the goal leaders, it's still Rylan Hugan in the lead by 6 over Tyrone Willen with the same amount of games played. But for Tyrone Willen, I think he's not too mad about that, since he's leading the league in points by 1 over Rylan Hugan with 7 more assists than he has. Derek Weave has 2 more than Tyrone Willen, though Willen not leading the league in assists. That would, of course, be courtesy of number 26, his teammate in Brady Whiteley, who has 34 and 30 games played. So impressive, and he's had to step up too in the time that Rory Neal has missed. Neal joining this St. James team back in their lineup very soon. But Derek Weeb, 2 more games in hand, 2 less games played than Brady Whiteley, with 1 less assist. Could be in the running to be this league's assist leader champion. Tyrone Willen, Peyton Bateman, and Cam McDonald, of course, rounding out the top 5. And of course, to show you all, once again, coming up this weekend, full slate of games in the mmjhl for tomorrow, 5 on Sunday. Be sure to check out mmjhl.ca for all information on where these games can be seen. And also be sure to, go in person if you have nothing going on. Only $10 to watch in person if you're a student, I believe. 12 full out if you're a regular adult, a bit less if you're a senior, and of course less if you are a student. It's worth it. Some of the best hockey out there in a league that doesn't get recognized compared to some of the other ones, and these are guys that could be playing junior A hockey. Don't forget, some players in this league have played WHL, like these gentlemen behind me seem to with their WHL jerseys. We're going to end things off here with one final transition, folks, for mmjhl game day, or podcast number 8, where myself, Graham the G Show Forsyth, will be back for some final words here on this Thursday night from St. Vital Centennial Arena. Well, you made it to the end of the mmjhl podcast. Want to thank Matt Grisiak, number 29, newest edition of the St. Vital Junior Victorias, for being the guest in this week's episode. No highlights for tonight's edition of the show. We're hoping to have highlights for you guys next week, though, as we might be doing this podcast before the game next week. We'll be back here for mmjhl Game Day, the 3rd one of this 2024 calendar year, as the Stonewall Jets will be in town to face off against the St. Vital Junior Victorias next week at the Centennial Arena here. Be sure to check out our website for details on that at gshow.ca, as well as check out our handles on social media to stay up to date with who the guests will be on that episode and more. Highlights should be coming up in the next few days, by the end of this weekend, hopefully, from this game we saw tonight from St. Vital Centennial Arena, where the Vics took it 7-3. Be sure to check out the full game on gshow.ca and on gshow Productions on YouTube if you missed any of it. The second and third period, that has had some technical difficulties, so couldn't quite get that first period like we wanted to. But thanks to Terrico, McCann Fasteners and Tools, and Goaltenders for sponsoring this episode. That's all I gotta say, folks. Graham the G Show Forsyth, giving you the salute, peacing out and waving goodbye on this Thursday night. Enjoy the great mmjhl hockey coming your way this weekend. Stay safe out there, and until next Thursday night, folks, we'll see you then.